Hello, and thank you for tuning in. You are tuned in to Esoteric Guidance, and my name is Nehru. I am an Earth Angel and spiritual guide, healer, first of myself, and then of those who come in contact with my energy, uh, telepathically or directly, have the opportunity to heal. Those of us who are Earth Angels and spiritual guides on this planet, um, we have a responsibility and accountability to divine source, God, Avarat, Lord of the sheep, Lord of the spirits, creator, the I am. We have an obligation, I feel, to uphold certain principles when we are made aware of them and certain spiritual laws. We are currently covering the books of Hermas. There are uh, three books, covers visions, mandates, which are laws, statutes, and similitudes is the third book. Okay, but at this time, I want to talk to us about um, opportunity meeting preparation. And I don't know about you, but on my journey, this journey so far has been 50 years, this lifetime so far, 50 years and a couple of few months. And I can recall times when my preparation met the opportunity and I knocked the ball out of the park. Um, I can also recall opportunities that presented themselves, and hindsight showed itself to be 2020 as it always does, and I squandered or was unaware or did not prepare properly for the opportunities that presented themselves. Okay. My vision perhaps at the time was not clear or okay. And again, there's a lot, everything's mixed in there because some of it is protection, right? Some of it's protection from whatever the choice was that you, right? So again, life presents both light and dark opportunities to us. And what we are prepared for determines that choice. So you can already know, and I'm just getting this, I'm just talking from my crown chakra, just, and that's what I was listening to as I was on my walk. I was listening to, as I often do, some type of frequency or something, and I was listening to chakra cleansing, looking to, looking to, and listening to chakra clearing and cleansing, and so we can, with a fair amount of accuracy. I'm just getting this. That's why I'm just looking out the window here. It's a nice day in southern Arizona. It's supposed to be 91 degrees for synchronicity. It was 3 minutes and 44 seconds up there. But yeah, it's supposed to be 91 degrees today. And it's already, mm, I'm sure it's already 80 degrees in the in the RV. But I just came in for my walk, so I still have my shirt on. But yeah, it definitely will get warm enough by, I don't know what time it is. Let's see what time it is. Oh, it's 10:13. Okay, 113. Okay, so yeah, I don't. Mm, you might be dealing with the judicial system collective. It was 4:33 up there on the video timer. 10:13 Libra energy. Okay, um, but opportunity and preparation coming together. Okay, but there's a third part of that, and that is you recognizing you recognizing it. But if you pay attention to the preparation of someone, i.e., the state in which someone currently is, energetically, the state in which someone is. It could be physical, but more energetically. You can, with a fair amount of accuracy, predict their choice. So, what do I mean? So, let's talk about opportunity in regards to career path, and right, and making the currency of the earth, which is money. Currency of the kingdom is faith. Currency of the esoteric is faith. That is why it is impossible to please divine source without it, because you do not know all things in this place at once. Okay, in this form. Okay. um, because there is a gulf between the natural and the spiritual. There is a gulf between the 3D and the 5D. That gulf is the 4D, and that's where spiritual battles happen. That's where spiritual warfare happens, is the 4D. Okay? Heaven is their throne. It's male and female energy. Heaven is their throne, yin and yang, and earth is their footstool. Okay? So in between, somewhere around their knees, somewhere around divine's knees, is where all the battles take place. Okay? Um, and again, there may be some revelation that comes from me in regards to that, or you that comes to you in regards to that whole picture there. So preparation meeting opportunity. I recall times when preparation met opportunity, and I stepped up to the plate. It could have been a last minute cram session, spiritually study session. It could have been one of those. So opportunity meeting preparation. What do I mean? So I'll give some examples first in regards to my spiritual preparation and what I was prepared for coming into this 3D earth place, this lifetime. And so early on, like as a child, so me healing myself of seizures and the umbilical cord wrapped around the neck and the left arm, and so those challenges, those were things that I was doing, healing myself in a sense unconsciously. Okay, unconsciously. um and so those things, again, those things as a child, the first stage of growth here in the 3D, which is the infancy stage, the entire time that you live with your parents, guardian, grandparents, whoever is the earthly authority over you for a time. Oh, there's something. You see the orb, whatever. I just looked up and saw it. That's responsible for you temporarily. That is the infancy stage. Okay. The next stage is adolescence, when you are on your own, whether you leave the house at 16, go into the military at 20 like I did, or just decide to leave after high school or in the middle of high school, whatever you do. When you do leave, walk away from that guardianship, you are in your adolescent stage of your 3D life. And you are now responsible for yourself. And so that requires a different type of preparation. Okay. So my preparation while I was under Kevin and Judy's care, to some degree, it required less physical effort on my part. Okay. But yeah, okay. Because in one part, there were guardians of me, and yet at the same time, I had to be spiritually protected from them because they were also my spiritual enemy. It was 9:31 up there on the video timer. So they were my spiritual enemy. At the same time being my earthly guardians. Okay? And again, any of this may resonate with you. So that required a different preparation. Then I left. I went into the military. That was the first time I'd ever lived on my own. Um, And even that is a certain type of guardianship, because the military, they take care of you in a certain way. They feed you. You don't have to prepare your meals. You can go to the chow hall, even as a service member, living off base. You could be an E7. You could still go to the chow hall every day. You don't have to cook. You know what I mean? So to some degree, that's still some type of guardianship over you. Okay. Um, and or something, some force holding your hand, so to speak. So then you get to the final stage where there is maturity. So you can take care of yourself. You cook for yourself. You might still be in the military, right? But you cook for yourself. You take care of yourself. Your bills are paid early, on time. You take care of things. Okay. We all reach these different stages at different points in times in our life, with the exception of the infancy stage that happens at conception. Okay. And spiritually, it happens even before that, in some cases. So the way that I was raised in a very strict disciplinarian type of environment. Okay. And we got, you would get you could graduate belts or disciplinary tools. You could graduate from one stage to the next. Okay. And let me see here. Let me find it. Okay. So I just wanted to find a belt. Okay. So you could, and then I have a cord here. Okay. So collective, let me show you this. I say collective, it could be for anyone. I say that because if I'm speaking, my main focus is for the 144, the chosen ones, the star seeds, the spiritually elite beings, the healers, the earth angels. That's I'm here for them. But yeah, okay. All right. So here's a belt. Okay, collective. Okay. So you could graduate in the household that I grew up in. Okay. You could graduate from this, and this is Kevin's household. Judy just used the belt or cords, like telephone cords and stuff. Right? But I was a very good child. So fortunately, she says she only had to discipline me like maybe once or twice. Right? But here, okay. So in Kevin's house, then you could graduate to this. Okay. And this is an orange electrical, commercial electrical cord. Okay. And the way that his cord was, okay, the way that he called it orange crush, because this cord is orange. This one's dirty, but it was orange. Okay. And so, and I don't even know why I'm showing this. I had no idea why, but this is what he would do. Okay. And there are people that I call brothers and sisters who can attest to this. There's approximately 15 of them who have lived with him and experienced this. So it's not something that I'm lying about. Okay. There are 15 human beings in this country or on this planet, if they're not in this country. Okay. If any of them are not. Okay. That can attest to this. Okay. And then he would take this, and it had knots in it. Okay. It had, let me tie another one. I don't care. I'll tie another one. Okay. So let me see. Okay. And again, there's more than enough information on here for all the illegal activity and all of that stuff, for many arrests. Again, I don't know what the outcome of all of that's going to be, because unless something changes severely in the next few months, I'm going to be leaving the country. So again, I don't know what that means for all the legal things and inheritances and things that were stolen. I don't know what that means, but this is what it would look like. Okay. So you would graduate somewhere around the age of 11 to 13. You would graduate from this to this in Kevin's house. Okay. So the military came very easy to me because I was very disciplined. I was already yes sir, no sir, extremely respectable, and respectful. I don't know about respectable, but I was extremely respectful. And so that came easy. So the preparation, even though in most cases that would be extreme discipline, and most states in this country that would be extreme today and considered child abuse for sure. But confirmation with the horn honk. So, but what it did for me, and again, I was a very good child. Even with Kevin, I didn't require very many whoopings. He had to come up with stuff to discipline me, like bad grades. So if I got a D or an F, I would get in trouble because I didn't do much. I always told the truth, and yeah, I wasn't a rebellious child. I came here very mature, for whatever reason, and Judy helped out with that confirmation, and Judy helped out with that because there was no adult male in the house from the ages of infancy until 11 when I moved with Kevin. Um, she gave that responsibility to me. So she would ask me what she should need spend her food stamps on, what she should wear to church on Sunday. She would ask me that, and I'm 8, 7, 9 years old. Okay. She tells the story of how me and her in a 2-story townhouse project moved that furniture, beds, mattresses, and all that stuff upstairs when we first moved in there in 19, I don't know, 79 or something, whenever we moved into the projects of Joliet, Illinois. Okay? I don't, how old was I? 5, 4? I was walking at 7 months, you know? So there's some spiritual preparation that went on, and but the physical preparation, and again, Kevin and Judy's discipline was a part of that. That prepared me for the military and life, but I'm talking specific opportunities. So for the military. So when I got to the military, 2 weeks into basic training, first of all, I loved the experience, confirmation. I would do basic training 8 times a year. That basic training, I would do 8 times a year. I was talking to someone the other day and I told them I wish I'd gone into the Marines because I wanted a tougher full metal jacket kind of experience because that's just how I'm built. I volunteered to go to war, got orders changed to get deployed before I ETS because I just always wanted to be battle tested. Again, preparation meeting opportunity, and that's just part of my mentality and spirit as a warrior, as a lone wolf, as a black sheep. That's just part of my spirit nature, and it helps me to get through what I've it helps me get through what I've been through. And if you would like to know more about that, there are a lot of videos on this channel, 700 and something. If you go back to the playlist, there is a My Journals playlist. You can check those. Those cover the last 10 years, 2014 to 2024 of my journey, including my exodus from Florida and more into Judy and Kevin and childhood and all those sorts of things, including relationships, both friendships and romantic relationships. And so when I got to the military, 2 weeks into basic training, the drill sergeants, whoever the drill sergeants were, I remember a drill sergeant McQueen. That name might be significant for you, McQueen. I remember a drill sergeant Steele. And that's Steele, drill sergeant Steele. Yeah, and they were quite opposite drill sergeants. Okay. And Drill Sergeant McQueen was a female drill sergeant, and probably she could do more pull-ups than the only female I knew could do more pull-ups than most men. It was crazy, and that was again drill sergeant in basic training. Okay, so there could be something about local law enforcement. The police officer just rolled by in an SUV. So when I got to basic training, 2 weeks in, they chose to place me at a leadership position, confirmation, and put me in charge of the platoon. So I was the platoon leader for the final 6 weeks of the 8 weeks of the Army basic training at Fort Knox, Kentucky in 1995. 3/29 was my enlistment date. Okay, and so that prepared me. So the childhood, again, even more so, even with the discipline from Judy and Kevin, as strict or excessive or whatever as it may have been, uh, it prepared me. And yeah, okay. So there is one opportunity. I recall an opportunity where, and I still, honestly, I still wonder, again, according to my Akashic records, if you are familiar with what that is, I encourage you to look up what the Akashic records are and how you access them. And yeah, and it's a spiritual thing, okay? Um, and so another opportunity where my preparation had probably met opportunity and I did not seize the moment. So, first one that comes to mind is I was probably 19 working at a movie theater in Altamont Spring. I was going to say another city in another state, which is where Judy and Kevin are from. I don't know why I was going to say that. I'd never lived there in that city. But uh, in Altamont Springs, Florida, my job at the movie theater from 16 to 20 or 17 to 20. Um, there was a couple that came in one time, and at the time, the theater that was there, it was a eight theater venue. Yeah, 8 theater venue. I think I'm saying that right. And and celebrities would come in. That was the hot theater at that time in the area. It was just up the street from Universal Studios at the time. You're talking mid '90s, so Universal Studios was just kicking off. They had that theme park was just really starting to boom, um, and City Walk and all of that was just starting to really kick off. Prior to that, it was really just Disney World. But celebrities would come there all the time. That was the big theater back then. I don't think they had the 24 theater complex or whatever they have in Disney World or whatever. But so yeah, celebrities would come out. Wesley Snipes, Ice T, like there were news celebrities and local journalists and stuff like that that would come by. There was a couple that came by, and I happened to be at the counter concession stand when they came by or came up to the counter, and they said hi. Yeah, they ordered whatever they ordered, and they said, something along the lines of, you handle yourself well and you're very professional, and we own a store in the Altamont Springs Mall, which was just across the parking lot. And if you're ever looking for another opportunity, then come over and da 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 da. And they probably told me the store. I never took advantage of that. Again, was that something for me to take advantage of or was it not? I don't know. It was 23:23 up on the video timer. I don't know. 3:29 is 23:32. Okay. I don't know. And so, yeah. And again, I could go on about opportunities that both I was prepared for and those that I was not. Opportunities and indicators that I missed, I call them indicators, that I missed along the line that was trying to redirect me at certain points rather than getting down here. Okay. And so let me try to explain this properly. Help me, divine source. So, okay. So if you start at this point here, okay, and you start off course, okay, and you're supposed to be going here, but from here, you start off course going here, okay, instead of here, okay. So what happens is if you start off course here, you are, by the time you get up here, you are way over here somewhere, okay. That's what happens, okay. So indicators come, and if we follow, this is the indicator, this is you, and indicators come and they kind of help us along the way. Divine source, your gut feeling, whatever you want to call that, intuition, whatever you want. And then, okay, but you have to, because intuition, your higher self already knows the truth and the path that you are to go, okay. Some things are defined, some things are not defined. Okay, what do I mean? The details may not be defined. It was 25 minutes exactly on the timer. Okay, the details may not be defined. Okay, so what do I mean? Well, because everybody is functioning on their own timeline and making their own choices. Okay, so you may or may not meet the individual that you were originally meant to meet, and the place that you were originally meant to meet them. You could still meet them, but it might be under different circumstances. Why? Because from the Akashic Records origination, they have made choices again for their better and for their worse, and their ebbs and flows, just like you and your ebbs and flows. Okay. All right. So, and again, this is also attributed to why we, in this form, on this planet, must come back multiple times, because the gulf that separates this from this. Okay? All right. So, yeah. So, opportunity meeting preparation. When it does, you need to be ready to take the leap. You need to be ready to take the jump, whatever that means for you. Confirmation. Okay? So, the only way to do that, truly, the only way to do that is to be in the now. That's the only way to do that. Okay? I can't be thinking about 5 months from now. I was going to 5 years from now, 5 years, months from now. I can't be thinking about that too much, because I lose focus in the moment. And in the moment is where the opportunity is. The opportunity may or may not be 5 years from now. And surely between now and then, that landscape will change, because the landscape over time does change. Have you ever watched time-lapsed video of New York City in 1920 and New York City in 2020? Time, yeah. Mm-hmm. Things change. That is the only guarantee. That is the only guarantee, truly, is change. It's not death and taxes. It's change. Okay? So yeah, again, I don't know who you are, but I hope this has been encouragement to you, and uplifting to you, and helping you to see. It was 28 minutes exactly. That's 77. Helping you to see and encouraging you to know that even if you have to be brave by yourself, even if you have to do the preparation by yourself, you have to do it alone. And the 3D, first of all, you are never alone, right? But that's cliche to say, I feel like. You have ancestors, you have spirit guides, okay? You have Enoch, that's Archangel Metatron, okay? Who is more than willing to give you access to your Akashic records when you're qualified to see them. Okay, and that means nothing other than clearing your energy, removing karmic debt. Okay, stop doing evil, wrong things. Just because they did it to you, don't mean you do it to them. Yeah, yeah. Okay. And again, I've been through some things, okay? But I've never done witchcraft against them. Okay, it was 29:11 up there. I need to look at Jeremiah 29:11. That might be some encouragement for you today as well. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much, collective, for listening. Again, I say collective, but subscribers, thank you so much for being a part of the channel. And I just realized also that I did not look up subscriber information. So the next time that I come on, I will be sharing again 6 names, because I have yet not gotten into the routine. There might be something about new routine of looking at the list before I come on. So, confirmation, Bert. Compliments of divine source. Um, it's tough to live a life where you function as if nothing else matters but your desires. But with some minor tweaks, that is exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And I don't mean be careless of anyone else. 3033 up there on the video timer. I don't mean be careless of anyone else or careless about anyone else. But I mean not living your life according to someone else, a celebrity or whoever, parents' expectations, whatever. Okay? So, all right, if you would like to get in touch with me again, you can do so via email at theencourager333@gmail.com. There's something about a dichotomy. Let me get the tablet so we can together find out about this dichotomy. Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you, collective, or listeners. Okay. It is 10:40. Tax time, 10:40. Also, that angel number is extremely significant. Okay? 10:40. Look up that angel number. Maybe we should do that. Okay? Look up that angel number, 10:40. Then it just turned 10:41. That's a trust return. Okay? For IRS form 1041 is a trust return. Okay? So there could be something about trust funds or something. Or again, taxes. You need to file them last minute. Okay. Where am I going here? Dichotomy. Let's go ahead and find out about the dichotomy. Spiritual dichotomy. Everything spiritual first, collective, then natural. Divine was, and then divine created. In the context of Christian theology, a spiritual dichotomy refers to the belief that humans are composed of two fundamental parts, a physical body and a spiritual soul. The contrasts with trichotomy, which posts three parts, body, soul, spirit. Okay, so there's something about a dichotomy, and then there's something about a trichotomy. Okay? 3320 up there on the video timer, collective, 3320. Okay? Spiritual dichotomy. Okay, and then we're going to look up angel number 1040. In angel number numerology, the number 1040 is often seen as a sign of help and assistance from the divine realm, encouraging you to embrace your potential and rise above challenges, signifying a positive future and end of troubled times. I saw waters. End of troubled waters, collective. Okay. All right, and then let's check the angel number 1041. Angel number 1041 is often seen as a sign of positive transformation, encouragement to embrace new beginnings. Okay. Ace of Cups energy. and a message of divine guidance towards achieving your goals. It signifies that you are on the right path and that your angels are supporting you. Okay? So, collective, thank you so much. Again, opportunity, meeting preparation is what the earth beings call luck, but it is divine favor, and it is blessings, and it is a harvest for the seeds that you have sown. There is no luck. Opportunity meeting preparation is obedience and how following your higher self. Again, gut feeling, intuition, whatever you want to call it. Okay? Thank you so much as always, and be encouraged.